Welcome to Afro-Agnostics, the space where we challenge and deconstruct supernatural ideas, beliefs, and practices in the Black community. Why that mission? Why is that the goal? Because supernatural ideas, beliefs, and practices are categorically different from natural ones. Take this for example. Believing in the Kalahari Desert is not the same as believing in heaven. The Kalahari Desert is a terrestrial biome. It's measurable, it's observable. You can go there, you can study it, you can map it. Heaven, not so. Places like heaven or nirvana are not subject to the same kinds of verification. That doesn't mean that they don't exist, but it does mean they operate under a different set of rules and cannot be investigated like you would investigate the natural world. And that matters because things that are observable, things that are measurable, are also falsifiable. The category of ideas, beliefs, and practices that are supernatural, they are not falsifiable. Now, answer me this. If you have no way of proving a thing to be false, how then do you know if it's true? You really don't have an objective way to verify if it is. Because of that, some ideas and practices are based on faith or are faith-based, while some ideas are evidence-based. With that being said, the mission of Afro-Agnostics is to challenge the Black community to understand intellectually that faith is not a reliable path to truth, and we should think twice, yea, we should think thrice before accepting an idea. We need to approach all ideas, especially falsifiable ideas, with a healthy dose of skepticism. That means that before we get emotionally attached to an idea, before we, build our lives around an idea, before we form deep convictions about a belief, before we make life decisions and so forth, we have to first vet that idea. We should pause and we should ask, does that idea contradict what we can already verify? Who does it serve? Those with power or those without power? What systems of oppression does that idea support? We can all point to situations where people have wholeheartedly embraced unvetted ideas and practices in blind faith, which very often have calamitous outcomes and come at a tremendous cost, or just simply a waste of resources poured into things that really don't liberate us. This often happens because the belief was protected from scrutiny. So that's what Afro-Agnostics is all about, challenging and deconstructing supernatural ideas, beliefs, and practices in the Black community, taking responsibility or intellectual accountability, taking self-inventory of our own ideas that we've accepted very often when we were young and didn't have the cognitive ability to critically challenge what we were taught. So that's the intro. Click, like, subscribe, comment, and get ready for the next vid. We out here.